Friends, come on in, join this week's live immigration session in which we're going to talk about immigration news, okay? We're going to talk some immigration news, so come on in, say hello. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey. Type in freedom now. Freedom now. Freedom now, if that's what you believe in. Here at McBean Law, we absolutely believe that freedom is now. Come on in and say hello on this this date, guys, where we have a tornado warning in our area, and I had to do an early dismissal today of the team, but I'm still here. I wanted to get this news out to you, so come on in, say hello, join in on the fun. We're going to talk some immigration news this week. I see that folks are joining. Come on in, say freedom now, and say hello and where you're watching from. Thank you so much for being with me. Hey there, Kevin in Kansas City is tuning in. Then we have Shireen. Hey, Shireen. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now, immigration freedom. Immigration freedom, okay? Free to be your best here in the United States. That's our motto here at McBean Law. Hey there, Marie. Thank you for joining. Hey there, hey there. We have some really interesting things to talk about today with immigration news. Jamaica is in the house. Detroit is in the house. Philadelphia is in the house. Connecticut. Dallas, awesome. Thank you. Come on in. Thank you. To reach our office, guys, contact us at 888-462-4006 or go to McBeanLaw.com where you could book an appointment with an attorney at our firm. We're here for you. We believe that you have a right. You deserve to be free here in the United States. Today, we're going to talk only immigration news, and on Monday, I'll be back before you with a live Q&A session to go through your immigration questions. The first news that I want to touch on briefly is regarding PIP. Okay, regarding PIP, guys, the parole in place, the Biden parole in place, this announcement is actually still on USCIS's website. We have not yet received the Federal Register telling us how PIP is going to work. In more details, I should say. We don't know yet what the disqualifying crimes are for this parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens. The government has promised that they are going to get out the Federal Register, which will break things down for us, including the fees, although some of us are suspecting what the fee will be, the filing fee will be for PIP, but we're waiting on more official information from the government about this program, which is slated to start accepting applications on August 19th. Okay, August 19th. And so some folks are quite concerned and worried, wondering whether PIP is still on the table. If you're concerned about it, just give me some hearts and engagement and say I'm one of those individuals who is waiting for more information from the government about PIP. Us immigration lawyers, we're also eagerly awaiting this. The American Immigration Lawyers Association said that they thought it was going to be published on August 1st, and that didn't happen. Now, politically speaking, and I did a short video about this yesterday, politically speaking, some things might be going on behind the scenes with the Kamala Harris camp, maybe not wanting to appear too soft on immigration because now is not the time to give that appearance. And so we don't know whether anyone is advising her, telling her, you guys need to pause this until at least January 1st or whenever we switch over, because it's a political liability at this point. You're going to be facing debates with Donald Trump. Do you really want to do this now? So we are waiting. I don't know if those are the discussions that are happening, but certainly there is a delay with publishing this Federal Register for an August 19th beginning of this program. So once more information, friends, becomes available regarding PIP, I will be sure to let you guys know. All right, so that's the first news that I want you guys to be aware of. Also, friends, if you have not subscribed to our firm newsletter, subscribe. We sent out our top 7 news this week. It's in the inbox. Check your inbox for the top 7. Let's go through the top 3 from my standpoint in this video. And guys, come on in and just say freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. The first big issue that I really want to take you into is the fact that 15 states have sued to block the Biden administration's efforts to help dreamers get health insurance. You guys might have been seeing a little bit about this in the news about the fact that 15 states filed a lawsuit on Thursday, guys, that would block the Biden administration from implementing a rule that would allow about 100,000 immigrants, children, well, they're no longer children, but dreamers who were brought to the United States illegally as children to enroll next year in the federal Affordable Care Act's health insurance, okay? And the states, the AP article says that the states are seeking to block the rule from taking effect November 1st and providing people known as dreamers access to tax breaks when they sign up for coverage. The Affordable Care Act's marketplace enrollment opens the same day, just 4 days ahead of the presidential election. And these GOP-led states are making various arguments that this rule that the Biden administration has, it violates a 1996 welfare reform law and the ACA. They also say it would encourage more immigrants to come to the U.S. illegally, burdening the states and their public school systems. And so this litigation was filed, this lawsuit was filed, and it's going to make its way through our system. But the states that are part of this lawsuit includes, there's Kansas, North Dakota, Alabama, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Texas, and Virginia are involved in this lawsuit. So I'll continue to track it to see what how far this actually goes. And it looks like I don't have connection on Facebook, but I'm going to keep going with this live session and publish the video on Facebook and other forums at a later time. So friends, now let's, the next big thing. Again, this is on the state level. The states are starting to, really flex their muscles, so to speak, as it relates to immigration, as the election cycle is really getting intense here. So in Texas, and you guys may have seen this today, in Texas, guys, Governor Abbott is at it again. He is at it again. And he is instructing the hospitals there in Texas to begin collecting data on patients' immigration status. Texas governor on Thursday ordered hospitals to ask patients about their immigration status in order to ascertain the costs of providing medical care to people living in the U.S. illegally. And he's doing this through an executive order, and in which he's directing hospitals to compile data on inpatient discharges and emergency visits by immigrants living in the U.S. without authorization, as well as the cost to provide services to them. And he has instructed the Texas Health and Human Services Commission to require hospitals to start collecting this information on November 1st and to report regularly to state authorities. And this order applies to hospitals that are enrolled in Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program, as well as some other health care centers identified by the commission. So Texas, and you might have said, well, I heard about something similar in states like Florida. And yes, Florida also, I definitely am not, this is awful. I don't want to, all these ads, right? So let me just cut. I don't like all these ads. We have to find another way of doing this. But Florida Florida, guys, also had something similar on the table, and that legislation faced challenges as it moved through the system there in Florida. But now Texas, through the governor's order, is directing these hospitals to begin compiling this data. They're not. It's unclear what they're going to do with all of this data. There's some talks about the fact that they're going to use this data to try to get more money from the federal government, to persuade the federal government to give Texas more money to help cover some of the cost of health coverage to undocumented immigrants in the state of Texas. But we'll see what they're going to do with it. But it's still, some are saying that this is going to have a chilling effect, certainly, on immigrants and make them fearful about going to the hospital to seek coverage that they need. But this is Texas executive action, very strong action that Abbott has taken. And guys, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about this. Do you think he's, this is right? Do you think that that he's doing the right thing? Do you like this action by Texas Governor Abbott? And then now I just want to shift gears for a moment and talk about politics, okay? Politics. We have to talk about politics and the fact that Tim Walz is very liberal on immigration, okay? So Tim, as you guys know, Tim Walz joined the ticket with Kamala Harris this week, and he is a very strong, persuasive figure and speaker, actually, a gifted speaker. And I think he wowed a lot of people in his speech a few days ago on both sides. Everybody was like, whoa, this guy is good, right? As a speaker, I mean, so engaging. But now we have to drill down. Okay, let's drill down a little bit on his immigration record. And he's actually incredibly liberal when it comes on to immigration. Vice presidential nominee Tim Walz largely stuck with his Democratic colleagues on immigration issues during his time in Congress when he was a congressman, but his actions since becoming Minnesota governor will sharpen the debate between the two presidential tickets when it comes to border security. He had signed legislation to extend health care and public insurance to undocumented immigrants as part of a budget agreement last year, making Minnesota one of 2 states with this particular policy. Although other jurisdictions grant state health coverage to undocumented minors and certain adults, only Minnesota and California allow low-income people to enroll regardless of their immigration status. DC has a similar healthcare policy for undocumented immigrants. And so here you have Kamala Harris, who is now taking a harder position on immigration, and I'm actually addressing her position in another video that's coming out to you guys tomorrow. It's already been filmed about what her position is, where she stands on immigration now, and how there's a little bit of a shift happening with her position, but she's trying to take a stronger approach with immigration. And now here, her running mate is he has this record of being incredibly liberal with immigration. Last year, he signed into law legislation that granted an estimated 81,000 undocumented immigrants in Minnesota to access driver's licenses, as well as a measure that would grant them access to free college tuition. So you have health insurance, you have driver's license, you have free tuition, you have all of that going on in the state of Minnesota under the leadership of Governor Walz. And this article from Roll Call says that the actions immediately opened him up to criticism from tough on immigration Republicans who have made border security a top issue and have pivoted to blaming Vice President Kamala Harris for the problems that we're seeing. And so some are labeling this as the most dangerous president / vice president ticket ever. But and that I think that was Governor Abbott who, Governor Abbott said that. So guys, here, let's keep watching on the political side of things, to see what their position will be concerning mass deportation, right? Which is a priority to a lot of Americans, according to a recent poll. But in any event, really interesting things happening around immigration and politics. I break it down for you in another video. I had to do a separate video for you addressing these things. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out tomorrow. I'll be back before you on Monday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern time to answer your immigration questions. I look forward to seeing you in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on these issues that I discussed today in this video. And if you're joining late, I started off by informing you guys that there has not been a publication of the Federal Register for the Parole in Place, PIP, for spouses of U.S. citizens and their and the stepchildren. The government is delayed with publishing this. Some of us are thinking maybe it's some political maneuvering is going on behind the scenes. In light of the fact that Kamala Harris is taking a little shift with her approach with immigration, and they want to be tougher. So let's continue to watch and wait to see whether they're going to actually move forward with PIP this year or not. They've already put it out there that they're going to do this. They want to open everything up on August 19th. And so we're going to just hold them to it until they tell us otherwise. The parole that you heard last week that has been paused due to fraud in the system has to do with a humanitarian parole that had been extended to foreigners in Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and some other countries. That has nothing to do with this parole in place for spouses of U.S. citizens who have been in the United States for 10 years, at minimum of 10 years. Two different parole programs. Thanks so much for being with me in this one, guys. I'm going to get out of here, get out of this tornado watch zone that I'm in apparently today. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.